Welcome to our YouTube channel, where wisdom meets inspiration. In this channel, we share valuable insights to help you become the best version of yourself. Our content is designed to uplift your spirit and enrich your life. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to stay connected with this incredible journey. Click the subscribe button below.
It is the human beings who meet and discuss ideas. Again, some people who are very refined, they discuss ideas. And those who are less refined, they discuss only other events. And those who are very, very gross, they are discussing only other people, their defects and their ideas. So let us be very fortunate that we are discussing the ideas. So that puts us on a top of this three-ladder understanding of the human beings. We had the morning session, the inaugural session, and it was mentioned that this event is being organized as part of the celebration of Swami Vivekananda's speech given on 11th September 1893 at Chicago Parliament of Religions. You know this speech. Have you heard of a speech which is celebrated? 100 years of the speech, 130 years of his speech. It's something very unique, very unparalleled. Because that speech, though it was very short speech, the inaugural address, it brought India, Indian culture, Indian identity to the world forum. Although people had heard of India, India has played a role in the world economy, in the world culture in a very significant way. But for various historical reasons, we were almost lost. And we had lost confidence in ourselves as a nation. We had forgotten that we too have something. We thought we were only a doormat for the British, and before that others who came to rule our country. So it was the first time that in the history, and this is what actually the India's first Prime Minister said that by speaking there at the international level, Swamiji infused a new vigor into the Indian nation. So we are celebrating that speech, and you know Swami Vivekananda went there not as somebody who is invited or somebody with an introduction letter. He went there because he had heard that great Parliament of Religions, first of its kind in the world history, was being organized. And yesterday we narrated the whole story of how Swamiji reached there, the various obstacles that he had to face, various challenges that he had to pass through. It was something, it is worth making a complete film only on that, how Swamiji reached there and how various forces were there which did not first of all allow him to go there, and finally he went there, and he was the first monk from India to have gone to America. So these are all very historic things, and when Swamiji spoke there, he began his talk by uttering 5 words, sisters and brothers of America. And these words, it brought in a complete electrifying effect in the people sitting there. Because it was addressed with complete heart, a complete feeling that sisters and brothers of America, that all of you we are all one. We are all part of a great reality, a spiritual reality. Though we have kind of separated ourselves from each other on various misunderstandings and wrong ideas, but essentially we are all one. So this is what Swami Vivekananda spoke of when he uttered those 5 words, and later on he gave a number of other talks before returning to India after 4 years. And then he started the Ramakrishna mission, and all of us are here as part of that great initiative. Had Swamiji not started the Ramakrishna mission, it's a very imaginary state, we would not have joined together like we have joined here together. and carried on his message of man-making, of spiritual awakening and of service to others. And this he had thought of. When he went to America, he saw how people organized themselves. He was deeply impressed by the way people organized and did things there. So he said we should have a similar organization here in India. That is how the Ramakrishna mission was formed. And here we are in Mangaluru, this branch which is almost 75 years plus old here, whereas the Ramakrishna mission itself has got several branches and is around 127 years now. Different parts of India and beyond Indian borders, in different around 26 countries there are centers. So we are here today to discuss about Shraddha. So that's the subject of the seminar itself. Shraddha, you have all heard the word Shraddha. This morning when Captain Ganesh Karnik spoke about it, he said Shraddha is commitment to passion. It's great commitment, which is true. Let us add something more to the meaning by our understanding. The word Shraddha is often used in our scriptures. It is used in the Bhagavad Gita, it is used in the Upanishads. In the Upanishad, one rishi tells a student, Shraddhasva, Saumya Shraddhasva. Have Shraddha, O calm looking person. Shraddhasva, have Shraddha. Again, in the Bhagavad Gita, we have Shraddhavan labate jnanam. Another place, Lord Krishna says, Yo yat Shraddhassa eva saha. As is one Shraddha, so he is. Or Sattvanurupi bhavato Shraddha. As is your mind, so is the your type of Shraddha that you develop. So what is this Shraddha? Have you thought of this word Shraddha? We often translate into English and say it is faith. But that's not the Indian tradition, to restrict it only to faith. Think of it, Shraddha. You might have seen your mother or father or some elderly person at home, sometimes younger people also, but generally elderly people will have more of it, going to their place of worship with so much of Shraddha. When they respect, somebody comes at home or when they hear something, they say, we are doing it with Shraddha. What is this Shraddha? There obviously it is not just faith, more than something, it is respect. So you give respect to a place, a tradition, a practice. So you give respect because you have faith in that. So you have now got two words, two meanings added to this word. Shraddha, which has got the faith component and also respect component. What is respect? Giving space to somebody. Recognizing his or her uniqueness or uniqueness of something. It's not that Shraddha is only for the elders. Of course we have to have it. It is also for a young little baby who has gone to school. You have Shraddha on him also or her also. Yes, this child will grow up. I need not treat him, chik magu anta haage he'll grow up. Today he looks like a little baby. Tomorrow he may grow up and become a very capable person. If he takes care of all that is given to him, he gets right education, guidance, and he develops into a mighty personality. He might become a great leader in some field of life. Not just politicians are leaders. You are leader in different fields of life. You become a leader by thinking what you can do for others and keeping all the obstacles aside. So he'll become a leader or a writer or a philosopher, or an extremely good unselfish person. He may have any profession. He may be an engineer or he may be a doctor, he may be an accountant, he may be expert in environmental sciences, anything, and he can become so much more than that. Point is, we should see that potential in him. So in order to see the potential, you must have Shraddha. I have Shraddha in the little baby, a little boy, a little girl. They will grow. We trust him. We trust his inner capacity, just like you have got a seed. In that seed, Can you say that the little banyan seed is in your hand, which is not even the tip of your finger? It is so small, it will become such a huge tree? Nobody had ever thought of it. But those who know how the plants grow, they know, yes, there is a hidden tree in that. So you should have Shraddha. Shraddha in an object. We generally use the word Shraddha to mean Shatadharane. In Sanskrit it means Shatadharane. Shat means Satya, truth. Dharane. Dharane means you should have a capacity to accept and make it part of your system. You conceive it, Shatadharane. Ability to accept and to conceive and to hold on to truth is called Shraddha in its Sanskrit form. In its practical form, it means faith, it means respect, it means also an amount of courage. When I believe into a small child that he should grow up and become something, it requires certain amount of fearlessness. Although he may look like, he is too small, his intellect is also not expanded, he also is speaking, he is behaving in a way which is not a very grown-up person should do. But I don't give it up. I say, no, he will grow up. So I've got faith in that. I've got Shraddha in the little child's capacity. Now, let us understand this Shraddha further by citing a story. Those who have known Vedanta, they know this story. Now what is Vedanta? Vedanta is Vedasya Anta. Anta means the very essence, the core teaching of the Vedas. What is Vedas here? Vedas means that knowledge which has come to us from thousands of years. What is the core teaching? There are other things in the Vedas. We are not going to bother about that. We are talking only of the core teaching. What is the core teaching? The core teaching of Vedanta is that in each one of us there is a divine potential. Each soul is potentially divine. And how to manifest that divinity is the whole purpose of life. That is the core teaching of Vedanta. Now in Vedanta, those who have read Vedanta, the Upanishads or the books on Vedanta, such books are called Prakarana Granthas, books on Vedanta. Prakarana means taking up a particular subject of the issue and discussing that. There is a Upanishad, one of the very important texts of Vedanta. It's called the Kathopanishad. In the Kathopanishad, there is a story. Actually, the very context of the Upanishad begins with a story. That's a story about what is Shraddha. The story is told of a person who wanted to do one yaga, one yajna, that lighting the fire and putting something in that. And with that he is to offer his everything. Along with that certain sankalpas are there, certain resolutions. That I will do this also, I will do this also. As part of the yajna he is to do dana also. So as part of the dana he is supposed to give up everything. That is a type of yajna. The yajna which that gentleman was doing, that rishi was doing, which required that you should give up everything. But this man, although he said he will do that yajna, he had declared it to others, there was some attachment inside his heart to the objects which he had. Especially to his own son he had a lot of attachment. So he started keeping some good cows aside and started giving away those cows which do not give milk or give very little milk. And very unlikely that those cows will become mothers also. Very unlikely that the cows will live for long. So something which you really don't require, you give away. That is not the spirit of a dana. Dana is when you give it wholeheartedly because the other person will benefit from that. So as this was happening, he had a little son. His name was Nachiketa. In Nachiketa, the Upanishad says, Shraddha Vivesha. Shraddha entered. Which means the power of Shraddha somewhere got awakened in him. In all of us there is this power. But not everybody has experienced its awakening. We have the power of Shraddha. When we are born not only with all the limbs, if we are normal human beings, with all the systems in our body, there are doctors, they understand what I am saying, that we have the normal human body with which we are born. What a great blessing it is. But human beings are not just that. Though they are a body, we own a body, we all know our physical frame. But something else also we are born with. What is that something else we are born with? We are born with certain powers. For instance, when you were a little baby, you started speaking. That is a power, learning to speak. There is a brain center which tells you how to absorb words and how do you give it out, which is also a great thing. You can all speak. So that is the power of speaking. Later on you discover this power of speaking is also something like a fire. You can use it for good things, or it can burn you off also. You all know in your interpersonal relationships, some small word here and there, one small inattentive comment about something may spoil your relationship. So you learn the power of words. Tremendous is this power of words. How it can change, how it can take a whole family or a whole group or a whole society on the right direction or on the wrong direction. It's the power of speech. But then there is another few powers are there in us. We have the power of Shraddha. That's what I am trying to refer to. What is this power of Shraddha? Have we developed it? Generally, little children will have a lot of faith. You must have seen, all of us have experienced it. Mother says, so and so is your mama. That's all. And so is your chikkamma. There's mother is there, she is there. But over. No questioning is done there. And for the rest of your life, he is your mama and she is your chikkamma, whatever. So we have that faith in us, which means our mind is filled with certain positivity. But as we grow, as we not really evolve, but as we grow in number of years, we begin to question. Questioning is good. But in the process, we become negative also in the process of questioning. We see good things and we say, what is there? What is there? This loss of respect, this loss of inner focus, that is very dangerous. And that is what we all suffer from when it comes to the idea of Shraddha. Let us illustrate this further. So there is somebody who has heard in a classroom the harmful effects of smoking. So he has very respectfully heard it. Very good. So he comes out. His teacher goes to maybe canteen. When he returns, this boy or girl has already opened a cigarette, because he has heard it respectfully but doesn't believe in it. Respectfully I heard it. When the teacher happens to return from the canteen, you very respectfully say, good morning, sir. Because you are part of a society, you have to greet others, but you really don't believe his words, but you respect him. Whereas there's another gentleman who goes for getting his beard shaved for the first time with the help of he is accompanied by his little son in a village. Not that he is having for the first time, he is shaving. That little child is seeing for the first time. And the child sees that father has sat down on a small chair, or sometimes, they'll have Italian shaving, which means they'll keep one itige, adar mele kutkondu madodu, the Italian. So he starts putting the leather, and he takes out his big thing and starts making it sharp. And the child is alarmed. My father is sitting there and this person has taken out this razor and he's sharpening. And he says, Appa, what's happening there? Father says, keep quiet. He gets it shaven. And after the shave, he just takes out some 10 rupees and says, keep it, itkoli. That's it. And the person there, he says, sir, only 10 rupees. He says, you keep it, we'll see later. This man has got so much of belief in that barber that he's not going to cut his throat. But he doesn't really respect him. Yeah, keep it, 10 is sufficient for you. Can we take this idea of belief and that of respect together? Then Shraddha is born in us. We develop that power within us. And then this little boy whose story I was narrating, he develops that power. So what happens when that power comes in you? It brings in tremendous positivity in you. He thinks of it. He goes to his father and says, "Father, you are giving away things like that. I am also your object. I am your son. So whom are you going to give me to? Because I am your property." So father says, this boy, he thinks in his mind he is a prattle, child's prattle. We need not pay attention to him. So after one, he doesn't reply. Second time, third time. When the third time he says, then father kind of loses his temper and says, "Mrityave dadamyaham," I give you to Mrityu. Simple meaning is you go to Yamaloka, to the abode of God of death, which means you die. Will any father say that? So the father immediately become very reflective. He'll say, "Arey, what did I say this? What did I tell my little child? Go to Yamaloka." And the child on the other side is also reflecting. He says, "Why did my father become so angry?" He says, "Bahuna memi pratamaha, bahuna memi madhyama." I may be among many, I am first. In some, I am little mediocre. I am definitely not completely useless, that somebody should ask me, "You are not worth living." I have something in me, because Shraddha is awakened in him. That power of faith, Shraddha, plus respect, plus that courage, yes, I can do it, that is awakened in him. And that awakening makes him think like that. And when father kind of wants to take his words back, the child says, "Don't take your words back. Sasyamiva jayate, sasyamiva pachyante." This word is like that. It is born, it goes. Nothing in this word is permanent. So we should not give up our faith, our Shraddha in truth. You said that I should go to Yamaloka, I will go. So father has no other way. And the story goes that he goes to the Yamaloka. Because he had questioned his father, and father had spoken in a fit of anger, and he went to the abode of death. But when he goes there, the story says Yamaraja was out of station, as it might happen when you go to meet somebody. It was out of station. For 3 days he had to wait. He said, "I will not enter until he returns." Now he is a pure, very learned boy. He is sitting there. So somebody in the palace says, if such a person sits here, and if he becomes angry, it will actually burn the whole Yamaloka itself. So as soon as Yamaraja returns, the story says, he is advised by his minister, "Sir, such and such boy is waiting for you for last 3 nights, 3 days. Please go and attend to him. If he becomes angry unnecessary, we will all suffer." Immediately Yamaraja goes there with flowers, water, whatever things, and says, "Please, I was not there. I'm very sorry that you had to wait for so long. In lieu of those 3 days of waiting, I'll give you 3 boons, 3 varas." And the first vara, Yamaraja says, Nachiketa agrees to that. And the first vara which Nachiketa asks is that, "Sir, you have been very kind, tathastu." The second one, it's a very detailed description about some ritual which he asks, about how to go to heaven. Now, heaven is a word which is differently used and understood by different people, but in our culture we understand heaven is a temporary place. There is something higher than the heaven where there is no coming and going, it is. That's called our own real self. So what is that higher place? That's called mukti. That is called freedom from all bondages. But in between is this heaven. What is heaven? Heaven is you want to enjoy things. You want to have all the enjoyments minus their darker side. For instance, if you like all the fast food, you like all the sweets, you go on eating, it will lead to a lot of physical problems. It will give you a lot of diseases. But in heaven, if you eat all that, nothing will happen. That is the idea of a heaven. That you have all the things minus their defects. So many people want to go to heaven. So a boy asks about it, and Yamaraja replies. And he's very pleased that this boy is asking with so much of attention. And the third boon that he asks is about the nature of the self. Who are we? He asks a question. He says, sir, when somebody dies, somebody will say that so and so has died, it's over. But some people say, no, after death, yes, there was something in him which has now gone to another world. It lives. So what is the truth? You tell me. Because you are the God of death, you know what's what. Who else will know better than you? Because you are the person who handles how a person dies and where to take him. So Yamaraja listens to him and says, yes, put me in spot. Because it's a very, very tough question. Have you thought of it? There are two types of knowledges that we have. You may say, no, there are many more types of knowledges. There is computer, there is digital, there is accountancy, there is civil, there is hundreds of courses. They're all knowledges, knowledge systems. So what is there? There are only so many types. Why you say two? So that was the Indian way of classifying things. Generalization and classification. So what was the generalization? Say, dve vidye veditavye paracha aparacha. There are two types of knowledge. Knowledge of the objective word, through the senses, through all the five senses that we have, and through also observation, through proper experiment. We learn so much about the world around us. All that you see here is because of some people have thought about it. They have thought about how to have such high roof. If somebody had not thought of that, he would have been still living in a small hut only. So like that, hundreds of things in this world have developed. And we are very grateful to those people who have given that knowledge, be they doctors or engineers or social leaders. Hundreds of people have contributed to our life's goodness, good life or good living because of such a research and such a thinking. So that is one type of knowledge. Another type of knowledge which is spoken of in the Mundaka Upanishad, I just quoted this from the Mundaka Upanishad, is the knowledge of the self. Who are we? Have you thought that question? Who am I? You will definitely tell your name. You will also tell your student course, what course you are following. You may also say, I am the son or daughter of so and so. You may also say that I am belonging to this form of religious belief. You may also say I am a part of India or I have a citizenship of India. So these are all self-identity things that we are telling. You may also say, I like this, I don't like this. Your likes and dislikes also you will say. But is it all about the self-knowledge? This was a very profound question which was asked long, long back. And Nachiketa asked this question to Yamaraja. And the rest of the Upanishad is about that. So what is it that the Upanishads say? He says that each one of us is essentially not a body, not even a mind, not even our vital energy, not even our intellect, even something more than these things. How does he identify or how does he analyze that? That's a very, very remarkable study. And no one can ever say that this knowledge has been contradicted. It has been always there for thousands of years, and it is so that who we really are. And Swami Vivekananda always said that we must try to manifest the divinity within. He called education as the perfection already in man. What is education? Is a manifestation of perfection already in man. How do you manifest that perfection? Through Shraddha. He would say, Swami Vivekananda would say that the one purpose of my life is to preach this Shraddha among people. Have faith in yourself. The great Adi Shankaracharya in his Vivek Chudamani, he says, what is Shraddha? It is a sum total of all positive thoughts that you have in you. It's a sum total of all the positive thoughts. You often say, oh, this cannot be done, that cannot be done. This, wherever we say no, 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 we are running towards Ashraddha. What can be done? What is my possibility? How I can overcome my difficulties? You go to any person's case studies if you take, you will find he has become successful because he has Shraddha. Be it a good sportsman. Often it happens, sportsmen who have to work very hard, when they actually go to the field and they have to compete, suddenly Shraddha among themselves, they feel, suddenly my faith in myself has become less. Then you have to say, no, have faith in yourself. Be it sportsman, be it a writer, be it a researcher, everybody needs a positive thought. When the positive thought is not there, we develop what is known as victimhood. Victimhood, what to do, I can't do it. My buddhi is like that, my parents were like that, my teacher did not teach, I did. So we go on blaming others. When we stop blaming, we turn within and find out what is my role in my failure. There may be outside roles, outside factors. But what is my role? Let me find out. You have come to the path of Shraddha. You have started discovering what is it that I want, how I can change myself. Why? Because you believe in your potential. You believe in your tremendous unmanifested potential. As I mentioned about a seed, how it comes. In the seed there is a tree. Likewise, Swami Vivekananda made a very remarkable historic statement when he said that old religions say that he is an atheist who does not believe in God. But the new religion says he is an atheist who does not believe in himself. So believe in oneself, believe in one's capacities, one's potential, one's ability to, yes, I will overcome. I will one day come out of my difficulties. I will overcome my challenges is very, very essential. And this is what Swamiji says makes us real believers in the divinity within. That we should have faith in ourselves and faith in God. Otherwise, if we don't have faith in God, it also means sometimes we in faith in ourselves, we might turn into the path of arrogance. We should avoid that. We should not become arrogant. We should not become very egoistic, that yes, I have faith in myself, so I don't care for others. That cannot be. There are others. God has given them so many powers, just as He has given you. They also, if they get the right mindset, the right opportunity, they will also manifest it. So have faith. I can do it is Shraddha. I alone can do it is arrogance. We should avoid arrogance at all cost, because before the fall comes pride. Any type of fall comes the pride. You have no negative kind of a approach to Shraddha. So the power of Shraddha has to be cultivated. It has to be released from within. And just as when you release a energy, have you seen how when a dam is full, when its doors are opened, with what speed the water comes? It can just throw away even the biggest obstacle standing in front of it. Human beings can't stand before it. Even if sometimes the dam breaks, then so much of energy is released. Likewise, we have within us the power of conviction, power of Shraddha, power of respect and of courage. See, one thing about you observe about this Nachiketa's story, he never spoke to his father disrespectfully. Very respectfully he goes and says, "Sir, my dear father, respectful father, you are doing this, but this is not good." He says, "Anandanam ste lokam te stam gacchati," which means this kind of a thing will take you to a loka, to an afterward, which is where there is no happiness. Ananda. There is no anandata there. There is no happiness there. So why do you do this? He has the courage to question with respect. We often think question means I should be very disrespectful. Not necessary. With this great respect, you question, you analyze, you investigate, and then you will discover there is so much of possibility in us. I would say this power of Shraddha is best applied when we start thinking that what is my role in various situations in life. Think of it. We often say, I did not study, that's why I did not do well in my exam. Why did you not study? Oh, because of external factors. You will always find, Swami Vivekananda in his Karma Yoga says, always remember, misery comes in there are two aspects of misery. One is external circumstances, second is my response to those circumstances. So how do I respond to those circumstances? If I have Shraddha, I have Shraddha in the divinity within me and in the power of the divine which is around me, I will surely overcome all my obstacles. I will overcome all the challenges that come before me and I will discover my real potential. So these are a few thoughts that I have shared with you. Please think over them. Shraddha, Shraddha, Shraddha. In one of the, there is a Vedic Sukta, it is known as Shraddha Suktam. He says, let me have Shraddha in the morning, Shraddha in the afternoon, Shraddha in the night. Every time is Shraddha. One great thing, one warning Swami Vivekananda had given. He says, give up this national disease. He uses this word. Give up this national disease of ridiculing everything. We ridicule everything. He says it is good for nothing. We speak very lightly. We speak very in a way which is very disrespectful. Rather, have faith in your own traditions, in your own strength, in your own possibility to manifest that divinity. These are a few thoughts. Let us pray that we may all become Shraddhavan, because Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Thank you.
Become Swami Vivekananda's messenger. Share the video with 3 of your friends.